Hi everybody, Eric here with an update on my patient journey with Advent. It's been a little over 6 weeks now since my in-office balloon sinuplasty and turbinate reduction. Nose is working great now. Next step is to get the sleep apnea under control. Still tired all the time, still drinking dangerous amounts of coffee. Hopefully today we'll get a plan to get that fixed.
So how are things?
Good, really good.
You feeling like you're breathing well at this point?
Yes, very well.
Okay.
Yeah, way better than I was before the procedure.
Good. How has sleep been? Any changes there in terms of quality at this point?
No.
Okay.
No. My wife said that my snoring changed a little, like the sound, the tone is a little different now,
Sure.
but that's about it.
Oh, fair enough. We don't expect the snoring to be different at this stage of the or gone at this stage of the game. Take a look and see what you got going on in there. You still have some stuff to remove today.
Cool.
Looks like mostly just on that left side right now.
Okay.
Feel any different on that left side?
Oh yeah.
Good. Things look good. Rinses at this point can kind of switch to as needed.
Okay.
Increased frequency for allergy or cough or cold symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
We'd still probably have you use that Flonase twice a day.
Okay.
The ointment can be completely done at this point.
Okay.
Unless you're feeling dryness.
Mm-hmm.
And that would usually be used at night.
Okay.
Really, today we can kind of start talking about, hey, what's the next step in terms of dealing with the sleep apnea? So
Awesome.
what the note said is that you were kind of thinking about that mouth guard versus the CPAP. Have you made a decision on which way you'd like to go at this point?
Yeah, I'm thinking CPAP.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you do have a CPAP at home right now?
I do. It's a BiPAP, but
Okay.
I think the plan is to get a new CPAP.
Okay. So I can put in orders for a new CPAP device. We usually use an AutoPAP device,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know if you're familiar, but basically instead of having to do an in-lab study, we kind of hook up the machine and kind of see what happens.
Okay.
The machine has some intelligent stuff in it where it kind of adjusts pressure based on what it needs.
Oh, awesome.
What you need. So Ken does like a mini sleep study every night. If Eric needs more pressure, it gives you more pressure. If it needs less pressure, it gives you less. So
Oh, awesome.
so that I'll put in. It usually takes a little bit of time for insurance companies to kind of get caught up with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that got me up to speed. Things are going okay?
Yep, going great.
Okay. You got a little bit of something out?
Yeah, yeah.
You notice a difference with that, or?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, for sure.
Did you have a sense that there was something in there, or not?
Not really. Like,
Okay.
I thought I was doing pretty good,
Yep.
and now my left nostril is just wide open.
Yep. Yeah. A lot of time at this stage of things, sometimes you have built, so things are opening up. I'll see what it looks like, but generally speaking, things are opening up, and so it's more open than it's been, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you'll get a little bit of buildup that just kind of sort of tucked behind the scenes. When you rinse, it's sort of going over top of that. It doesn't knock it off because there's space.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of rinses kind of follow the pathway of least resistance, and so if it's open around it, it'll just kind of go just go around it. But then that's sort of why we get you back in to see what things are looking like. That stuff would come out eventually, but just get it out of there just to kind of get you up to speed is a good way to play it. So
yeah, it's pretty great once you get one of those raisins
chunks.
to come out. Yeah.
You'll probably, we'll see, but I'd say generally this sort of marks the point where you might get a little bit out moving forward, but not like all the junk that you got out right out of the gate. It isn't going to be that, but you might get a little bit here and there, but it should be just kind of fading down. So, sleep. Are you breathing through your nose when you sleep, or hard to tell?
I am when I fall asleep. I'm consciously able to breathe through my nose in any position, which is awesome.
Okay.
But I'm still waking up with drool and stuff.
Okay.
So
I know you're dropping the mouth open.
Yep.
Is sleep any better or not really?
Not really. Like it's easier to fall asleep.
Yep.
I'm more comfortable falling asleep, but still tired all the time.
Still tired.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Headachy, pressurey, any of that sort of stuff?
Headaches have not been bad. I think I may have one or two, but normally it's worse. So
okay.
I mean, it's a small sample size, but maybe.
Yeah, it's hard. Headache wise, there's enough chatter going on in the back end of procedure where how we get that stuff figured out is once everything settles and see. But I'd say, given how tight you were before, having things open and calm is as good as we can be, nose and sinus wise. And so if there's any contributing factor to any of this stuff on that front, this would be about it's sort of the earliest time we sort of see. But next few months rolling forward, kind of pay loose attention to it. You just have to have enough time on your belt to kind of sense is that any different, the same. But it's kind of what you're noticing. It's good kind of early signs. Good. Yeah, that looks great. Yeah, looks great. So yeah, both sides are wide open. Your left-hand side, I mean, he got the chunk out that's out, so it's not there anymore for me to see, but your septum kind of goes like this, or it does go like this. On your left-hand side, there's a little, we call it a spur that sticks out, and so it likely there was a little bit of buildup between that spur and then the side of your nose over here. Him getting it out is good, but there's good, there looks to be a good amount of space on both sides. It's just sort of unequally divided coming through, so my hunch is as things continue to play out, I think both sides are going to be pretty darn good. You know, from a nose standpoint, you know, we'll keep an eye on things, but I think we're probably, I mean, you're about 95% healed in there. There's still, I can see a little rough areas on the surfaces that just need to finish their job. So but you've gotten the big change, or the big gain is there, and so, you know, kind of let your body walk that last leg of the journey. Okay. And then, you know, really sleep-wise, and I know we had this conversation right out of the gate. Nose, I think, out of the equation, you know, which is good. And then really sleep-wise, I mean, again, the three options: CPAP machine, oral appliance, procedures for your throat. Procedures not really an option for you, just kind of how your anatomy is. So, you know, the question mark or options would be between the CPAP machine and then the oral appliance. Then I guess here's my lean would be to go ahead. Well, okay, I didn't ask you. Matt asked you, but the CPAP is what you want to do.
Yes.
Sir. Okay, which is fine. So I think if that's fine, then I think, you know, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put orders in and get you moving in that direction. From a nose standpoint, we'll typically get you back in kind of a few months down the road to check in on that. But because you're doing the CPAP machine, so we're following the nose and we're following the sleep apnea, and so we're going to get you back in sooner to you know, see how things are going with the CPAP machine. We'll obviously look at your nose at that point as well. So it's basically usually what makes sense is once you've been using the machine, hopefully successfully, for about a month or so, get you back in. So it usually takes maybe a week to get into the machine, maybe a couple. So we'll usually be seeing you back in about 6 weeks, see how things are going, go from there. If things are going poorly right out of the gates, then just let us know. So if it's not going well, let us know.
Yeah, and I was usually able to fall asleep with the BiPAP, even as crazy and intense as it was.
Yep, okay.
So that gives me a little hope.
Yeah, exactly.